almost bought a 6-pack when I was in Iowa.
Of beef jerky?
Yes. No. A beer. It was a random brewery I never heard of, and it was I was at a gas station, like running in to go to the bathroom and running out, and I was like, I can't touch anything. And I was like, I saw that, and I was like, ooh. I almost bought it, but then I was like, oh no, beef sticks, grab those, and I ran out.
I like that your priorities were based on beef at that moment.
I was hungry, man. I also did not eat those beef sticks. They're still sitting in my cooler down here. So,
save me one.
I will. Yeah, it was funny because it was just like, we're trying not to touch shit like when we go in and out. But then and then I got in the car and my wife was like, oh, we bought like 40 Cokes. And I was like, whatever. Regular Cokes. I don't drink regular Coke. Like, because her mom drinks regular soda, and like, I was like, no.
I do that zero shit, baby.
Yeah, normally.
I get all my carbs from beer.
Yeah, and then like, so I don't drink diet. I don't drink Diet Coke. I try not to drink Diet Coke. Try to drink Diet Pepsi because they don't put aspartame in their sodas anymore.
I thought it was aspartame. Isn't it aspartame?
Aspartame, whatever. I don't know. Aspartame, aspartame.
Hey, speaking of Coke and
none
and
of
Pepsi,
the teens.
Speaking, except for the kids listening to this show.
Yeah.
Speaking of Coke, when we're drinking this stout today, an organic stout for after the final pour. Does after the final pour mean now just you and I? When we're like, hey, I've had a couple of beers. Do you want to record?
That's what it's always been. So,
well, we normally were together.
As a caveat, normally it's been we've had a couple of beers and we're drinking another one. Yeah. Now it's we've been drinking on our own, and now we're just.
This time it was I was watching football and editing other malting hour stuff, and now I'm drinking another beer. But speaking of, like I said, speaking of cola, Pepsi, choice the new generation. You gave me a stout today, socially distanced, because you just came back from your trip. And the reason why I say speaking of Coke or Pepsi is when I poured it, it looks like I'm pouring a cola. It looks like I'm pouring Coca-Cola. Why don't you tell our lovely, lovely listeners what exactly it is that we are drinking this evening?
So we are drinking LaGrow or whatever, however you want to pronounce it. It's an organic, LaGrow. It's an organic beer. It's classified as an imperial stout. Sorry, an imperial stout. Clocks in at an 8.3% alcohol by volume. So the reason I chose this is pretty random because I was randomly walking through Whole Foods. And I saw that there was an organic stout there. And I thought, hey, this would be awesome to drink. And actually, so bring that back. I bought it because I needed a stout for my chili that I was making, which I have already made. But I thought so for Tony, I didn't drink like a whole one. I poured the beer into the chili and I tasted a little bit and I was like, ooh, let's do an after the final pour. So I decided to pull this off. I had 3 cans left, put them to the side. And it's funny because I was thinking like when I was gone this past week and Tony was watching my cats. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I was like, oh man, if he drinks one of those beers, it's going to ruin the after the final pour.
I was actually, it's funny that you say that because when you handed it to me, I was this close to drinking that, I think, on Thursday night. I saw it. Because all the beers that you had, when your lovely cat, Aggie, wrote me the note, drink Dad's beer. And I went and looked at everything and I was like, well, I see some sours there. And I know those are mainly for Becca. And I saw these stouts. I'm like, yeah, that's an imperial stout. And I saw the Voodoo Pumpkin Ranger and I was like, he's probably going to want to drink that. Then I saw the Truly Lemonades. I go, fuck it. That's what I'm drinking every day I came by. And I had one every day. So thank you. So thank you for the Truly Lemonades, which, by the way, one day I plan on coercing you and a guest to talk about hard seltzers. But that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the family-owned, locally crafted, certified organic, founded in 2016, LaGrow Organic Beer Company. here in Chicago. It's the first USDA certified organic brewery. I have not had anything by them. I don't know anything about them. This is going to be my first experience, and I'm going in for the first sip. That was a good transition.
Oh, it is.
Hey, that's nice. That's a nice beer.
So it's nice, but like when it tastes, I'm like, it's not an Imperial Stout.
It tastes like a. Well, what do you like? It tastes like a roast. It just tastes like a stout. To me, it tastes like a stout. Nice roasty stout.
Yeah, no, and right off the bat, my first thought was like, this is almost like Guinness.
yeah. It's dry. It's not very sweet. It's very roasty. It's kind of like drinking dark chocolate or baker's chocolate. And I don't mean that in a negative way. I feel like I say that a lot on these shows.
But that's true.
I like it. It's almost it's light in body. It's not sweet. It's dry, as we were saying. Yeah, it tastes a lot like almost like a coffee. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, it's like it has that almost like creamy coffee texture.
And I'm reading the description on the can. It's not very descriptive. It says water, organic malted barley, organic oats, organic hops, and organic yeast. So, I mean, those things are specific, but I mean, just malted barley, oats, and hops, huh? Okay. Well, I wish there was a little bit more information, but this is 8.3%. There we go. Would I go out of my way to get this again? I don't know. Maybe I would. Maybe I wouldn't. Oh, here we go. I found it on their website. Here it is. Imperial Stout. Smooth, sophisticated, uncompromised. Malt and cocoa nib flavors with a hint of dark roasted coffee. This beer is strikingly bold and luxuriously balanced. Food pairings: steak, leg of lamb, or well-seasoned pork chop. For dessert, chocolate cake or fruit sorbet.
Better than meatloaf.
Pair this with meatloaf. That's another story for another time, everybody. But yeah, this I can see that malt, cocoa, nib flavors, hint of dark roasted coffee. Yeah, that's pretty much what it tastes like. It's not bad, and at 8.3%, 44 IBUs. It's drinkable. I can see why. Was it good in the chili? Did you taste in the chili at all?
No. Like in the chili, it didn't come through. Like, because I've made that chili, I don't want to say hundreds of times, but like that's my go-to chili. Yeah. So normally I use Guinness, but in the past I've used like
not expired. What is it? Infected bourbon counties. You use any of those yet?
No, I actually didn't. I'm trying to think. Like I know I've used other stouts, but like North Coast.
Rasputin.
Yep, I've used that in there. Yeah, but because you're putting it in because it's done in a slow cooker and it's just all that cooks off. You don't really taste it. So
right.
Well, I fed this to my son and he did not get drunk.
Good. I've done chilies before where I've added beer into it, and it doesn't really you don't really taste it or anything, but it's been a while since I've done it. Actually, it's been a while. I've added coffee in my chilies. I've done that before just to add a little I like kind of a little not smoky but roasty. It's my my chili came in second place at my job last year. That's all I'm gonna say. Right? I stand behind my chili. Do not judge me.
Well, and that's the thing is the recipe I use is beer like a stout.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it actually says a beer, and I'm like, I'm not using like a light beer. Yeah, so I've always done a stout, and there's coffee. So this time,
so we're on the same page.
Yeah, so I did I did a strong brew of the percolator coffee. Put that in there.
Heyo. Thank you, Percolator. I've been getting
shout out to Percolator.
Shout out to Perk. What up, Perk? What up, Big Perk? What what else? What else was I gonna say? There's something else. We're kind of talking. Oh, I've used Sam Adams Oktoberfest in my beer before. I need to actually, as we're talking, I have my computer open and I did the shitty thing of like I had another window open and I started browsing our SoundCloud and looking at who's been listening, and I kind of got distracted. So I'm just gonna go back to what we're recording.
Yeah, because you also just said you put Sam Adams in your beer.
So yeah, I put Sam Adams Oktoberfest in my chili before. That is what I meant to say. Which is I thought that was good, but again, it's like my base chili recipe. So I think it, I don't really know if beer matters in chili. I guess like how much are you putting in there? Is it just acting as a liquid? I don't really think it's providing anything, right?
Yeah, I guess not. Like I think it's just well, all right. So the recipe I use is like a cooking with beer thing, and so there's beer and there's no. I'm assuming
clever name. Yeah.
I'm assuming everyone else knows the other ingredients, but so you put in beer on top of the other stuff, and like cocoa and and coffee.
Mm-hmm.
So like I do like unsweetened cocoa and coffee like on top of all of that, but it gives it a deeper, richer flavor. And I will say this,
Okay.
like every time I have it, it's better the next day.
Like, always. Yeah, I don't think I've ever had a chili where I was like, oh man, yesterday was so much better. Never said that.
Yeah, I mean it's really good the first day, but it's like warm and everything, and then like but the next day when you reheat it, I'm like, man, this is so much better. Like,
yeah, there's something about like the flavors have a chance to meld together, and after it's like been warmed up and cooked, and then it cools, and you warm it back up, it just tastes so much better. And it's actually, as we're recording this, it's good. I already know when this after the final pour is going to be. What is that? What is going on out there? What were you just doing?
Oh, it's my tincture.
Oh, yeah. We'll talk about that in a second. As it's getting cooler outside, I've, actually for the past couple of weeks, I've been making chili for my family and I to have for lunch during the week. We've all decided that. Well, and my daughter, she has chili mac when she goes to work, so she has got noodles, and although I think she used for folly noodles, which is not really chili mac, it's kind of chili for fall. And I'm about to make this what is it? Vegetable beef soup tomorrow. And I'm using beef stock. And I thought, I should probably add a little stout to it because I kind of like that. Mike and I one time did a Guinness beef stew, and we were impatient, didn't really realize why it wasn't thickening up. It's because we started cooking it at 7:00. We also got hammered. This is a long time ago. And, we ended up adding some, I think some cornstarch to kind of thicken it up. It's just weird. But anyways, hey man, you've got a vanilla tincture in your hand.
I do. You know what's funny about this thing though?
By the way, on these after the final pours, I think I'm not going to vape all the time, but I am going to vape during these.
Yeah. So anyways, this tincture is progressively getting darker as I shake it, and I think that's just what happens. So I have a tincture of
it should get dark brown.
Oh, it's a dark brown now. It is Madagascar vanilla because Tony and I are working on a little something. So I don't think this is
not the Lagunitas beer.
Yeah. So I don't know, we're not going to reveal it right now, but
big reveal. Here it comes. I'm going to spill the beans.
No, I'm not. But dude,
no, I'm not going to.
I'm
excited.
It's kind of blowing my mind, just shaking it up and all the shit that, I scraped this stuff, put it in here, and
good. Yeah, that's the way to do it.
It's I'm where are these chunks coming from? I'm they're coming from the inside.
That's it, man. That's a little bit of the vanilla that's going to end this beer.
But yeah, it's progressively getting darker. I'm going to leave it in a
jar.
Well, it's in a drawer. It's in a jar. I'm going to leave it in a drawer.
I'm going to leave it in the jar.
Right next to my desk where I work during the day.
Peer at it every day. Peer at it and be like,
no, so I can take it. I just want Because all right, so what I read online was just like shake it occasionally. So I'm gonna keep shaking it. Just keep on
Shake what?
shaking it.
Shake it, shake it, shake it, like a Polaroid picture.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a shake weight, and I'm sitting here all day, like whatever.
I'm gonna shake vanilla beans all day
Yeah,
long. No, that's awesome. Yeah. I mean, hey, you guys listen. I'm not gonna say what we're doing, but you can kind of figure it out. If we're making a vanilla bean tincture, I mean, just kind of put it together. I'm excited to do it, and I don't know when it will be ready. I think when the time comes, it'll probably be ready to drink by the end of the year.
yep,
And as we're in recording this, we're at the end of September, but I know this will be coming out this third week or second week of October.
yep,
So hopefully by then we'll have maybe started brewing this beer, or at least getting close to finalizing the recipe. And then we'll do a whole little thing about it on the show, because we haven't done any home brewing talk on the show for a while.
yep.
Although you just finished your beer should be done fermenting. Did you end up kegging it today?
I did not.
So by the time this comes out, I hopefully will have drank a bunch of it. You did. Why don't you tell the kids, as I like to call the listeners? Why don't you tell the kids what you brewed?
Yeah, so I brewed an Oktoberfest last week, and it fermented. It's done. Tested it.
It fermented and it's done.
Yeah, well, the gravity is good,
Mm-hmm.
and
What's the ABV? What does it come out to? Something like, I forgot what the starting was. I think you're like a 5.5% beer.
hold on a second. My battery's about to die.
Oh, cool. I think he means his computer. I'm pretty sure your beer is at like 5.5%.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Based on your gravity readings.
Yep.
Well, yeah, I'm looking forward to trying that. And Oktoberfest, man, it's a good beer. And I was happy to be able to be a part of it by just checking on it.
Yeah, so I think tomorrow. Well, so I got caught up with all the smoking a pork butt today and all that stuff. So I think tomorrow I'm
so jealous.
Tomorrow I think, well, I'm working, but if I get a break in the day or tomorrow night, I may actually keg it and see what happens.
Cool.
I hope I have enough CO2, but whatever.
If not, there's plenty of places you can get CO2 still. I know there's a shortage, but I don't think Chicago, we've been affected by it yet.
I can't.
Oh,
I'm quarantined.
right.
I can't go anywhere.
Yeah, I can go eat some CO2. You can just leave it
Bring
outside.
me CO2, everyone. No, but I think it's all right. I mean, I haven't done too much on that CO2 yet, so.
Yeah, that's true. You should have plenty. I've been able to carbonate multiple beers with the burst carbonation on 1 5-pound CO2 tank. So,
but I mean, what's amazing, like, so I'm proud of myself. So this is the first time no, the Hefeweizen just went bad.
yeah,
That went bad.
I know where you're going. I'm proud of you too, because I know what you're about to say. Man.
So this one, for everyone that's listening, I have not done many like all grains by myself. Most of my brewing in the beginning was just extract and all that kind of stuff. But so I found this recipe, I tweaked it a little bit, and put it in a Peer Smith and said, "Hey, let's see what happens." I nailed my numbers, and I was like,
"Yeah, man,
that's awesome."
Very proud of you, and happy I'm happy you got the chance to actually brew.
Yeah,
because I know you got a crazy life with working from home, and also your child's at home and your wife's at home. So there's a lot of things you're doing. It's not just like, oh, I can brew whenever the hell I want. So I'm happy you got the chance to do it.
Yeah, so I've got 5 gallons of Oktoberfest coming at you.
Coming at you. Yeah, I'm gonna give you my 1 gallon keg. You can fill that up for me.
I will do that.
I just want a growler, because my 1 gallon keg. I'm getting off topic. I'm about to do my 1 gallon hard seltzer test. That's another thing we'll talk about. But just like the last after the final pour we did, we went off topic, which who cares? LaGrow Organic Beer Company. Your Imperial Stout is decent. I wouldn't if somebody offered me one, I would not say no thanks. I don't if I'm going to give it an untapped check-in, I think I'm giving you guys a 3.25. That's what I'm going to give you guys. I'm giving it a 3.25 because it's a very drinkable imperial stout, but it's not something. It's a good beer, but it's nothing that I think I would rush right back out and get now. Oh, excuse me. I do notice that they do have some other beers, like their pale ale, IPA, Citra Blonde Ale, and a lager. So I'd be interested to try the other beers as well. I'm not gonna write these guys off based on the stout, but again, how much was this? Was this a 4-pack?
Yep.
Remember how much it was?
Yeah. Under 10, I think.
Mm.
Or around 10, maybe
okay,
a little over. I don't know.
Actually, price point wise, and using organic materials, ingredients, I would say, 3.25, 3.5 on this. Good beer. I just it's not my my cup of tea when it comes to imperial stouts.
Yeah, so just so everyone knows, I bought it just because it was at Whole Foods and it was organic and all that kind of stuff. I was like, oh. So I bought it specifically for two purposes, one, the chili and this. But like, I'm kind of with Tony. The rating is just like, I don't know, 3.25.
Yeah. We're not getting
because you know what, and you know why? Because it reminds me so much of like a good Guinness.
Yeah, it's like just it's an overcarbonated Guinness.
But you know what's crazy is that, like, it reminds me of the Guinness that I had in Ireland.
Uh-oh. Now you're gonna piss off our one Irish fan.
Yeah. No, but like, not like it's bad, but like it reminds me of that beer, like, because it was like in Ireland when I had the Guinness, it was so flavorful, so like it hit all the marks.
Mm-hmm.
And I was not a beer snob then.
But you're a beer snob now. What a dick. I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
I'm reminiscing from like many years ago, but I like when I taste it, I'm like, it reminds me of something. And I think that's what it is. It reminds me of the Guinness that I had in Ireland.
Well, then, I don't know what to tell you, man. I feel like you should give it a higher rating then.
No. Because
they're ripping off Guinness.
No. Like, because Guinness doesn't get a higher rating because of that. It deserves a 3 or 3.25 because, like, I mean, the standards have changed.
Because the beer already exists. Is that what you're saying? Like, because Guinness already exists, it shouldn't get a higher rating, right?
No. I'm saying that's what it reminds me of, and I loved it then, but I've tasted a myriad of beers since then. It does not. No, it falls below.
I think I get what you're saying. Yep. I think I get what you're saying.
It falls below that bar that was set years ago. And again, there was no bar years ago. It was just me as a kid in Ireland drinking beer.
You hear that, kids? Go to Ireland. That's where the fun's at.
I mean, no, I will totally go to Ireland again. I love Ireland.
Yeah, me too. I've never been to Ireland. Okay,
let's go.
Here we are in Ireland. If we ever go, Brandon, if we ever travel together, out of the country, we're gonna have the greatest malting hour episode ever.
You know what's so funny about that is, like, this was the year we were saying, like, let's go to Oktoberfest, let's do this.
Oh, Jesus.
And then all that shit fell away.
Everything fell apart, and then we couldn't travel anyway.
Yeah.
So, maybe it all worked out for the best.
Yeah.
But I'll say this. Overall, not a bad beer. It's good, not great. And also, I feel like it's out of, what is this, the 5th After the Final Pour for season 3 of After the Final Pour, now that I've deemed them seasons, without even asking you. This is, let's see, we've done 5 After the Final Pours, and it's a non-revolution beer, which is amazing.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you this, everybody, we are approaching that barrel-aged beer season, and Revolution has a plethora of barrel-aged beers coming out. So,
and we will talk about none of them just because.
Yeah, out of spite.
Yeah, Revolution. No.
Yeah, who wants to drink Revolution beers? They're so amazingly gross. Am I right? No,
we'll talk about them because we're nerds.
And we love their beers. All right, man. Well, this might be the longest after the final pour ever. But it's always fun talking to you. I missed you, man. I missed that you were gone for a week. I know we don't always talk all the time, but it felt like you were gone forever. It was just a week.
Aww.
We texted all day. This was fun. You got me a really cool gift. You got me my own. I'm drinking my coffee out of it tomorrow. I'm gonna drink coffee out of that every day. I've got my own personalized malting hour. Either it could be for water. It could be for anything you want to keep cool, Tom. Any water. I'm gonna use it for my coffee. That's gonna be my new coffee mug. So
you should insert that. That would be a good.
I hope I remember. Let's see if I remember. If I remember, it was in there, and we just had a good laugh. Hopefully everyone else did.
But either way, so hot or cold, and I looked up on the Tervis website. You can top wash dishwasher.
That was our concern today, was can I throw it in the dishwasher? Well, everybody, eventually, I don't know if anyone's going to buy anything, but one day, Brandon and I we're making a whole bunch of shit for ourselves. We got coasters, we got stickers. Well, Brandon and I have our own koozies. I don't know if we're ever going to make those. That's just expensive.
I mean, we could just post shit up for Clark to buy.
Clark, would you mind buying this stuff? Because that'd be really cool.
Clark or Mike? I don't know. Does Mike still listen?
I don't know.
Is he
maybe?
I never talked to him unless it's about GTA.
Yeah, I don't even play GTA anymore. Sorry, everybody. It's just
I got $400,000 for logging on about 10 minutes ago.
I should probably do that before I go to bed. All right. Well, everybody, thanks again for listening and your continued support of the Malting Hour. We are coming close to the end of our second year of the show, which is mind-boggling to me.
Oh, we got to do a big one.
We got Christmas beers, man. We got to do another Christmas beer episode.
Yep.
And record it, and then the video will never be released.
So, on top of that, this may be edited, but I was thinking about
leave it in, baby.
Stuff we start recording going forward. I might just put my GoPro up if we're doing like this
together.
Yeah, the distance stuff. Put my GoPro up.
I can record myself too.
Yeah,
cool.
Whatevs.
Well, anyways, guys, thanks again for listening. We'll have more after the final pours coming up, and we've got for the first time, I feel like in a long time, we actually have a whole bunch of stuff. Not a whole bunch of stuff, but we've got some cool stuff coming up for the shows soon.
Yep.
It'll be fun. It'll be a good time.
Look forward to Ailman in the coming weeks.
Ooh, there it is. There's one of the big surprises. Also, hey, Brandon. I'm gonna ask
hey.
I put together a video of Clark and I, fan favorite, and what else do I call him? Number one fan favorite. Yeah, fan favorite Clark Fettridge. He and I took a trip up to Michigan recently, and I'm putting together a video that hopefully will be out by the time this is released. And if it's not, well, I'm slacking. But Clark might be joining us a little bit more, helping out with some information so that Brandon and I don't get lost looking at a computer. But it's not an all the time thing. But we're trying to expand our horizons to give you guys a little bit more to listen to. Okay?
Sweet.
All right. This is it. Now I'm going to sign off. Brandon, I love you, man.
Love you too, man.
And thanks for the beer. I enjoyed it, and I'm glad that it's 11:35 on a Sunday night. I'm just going to go crawl into bed and fall asleep.
I'm going to go watch some more TV.
Who am I kidding? I'm going to watch some more TV. All right. Good night, everybody. Bye.
Bye.